Hello and welcome to Triumph Women Beating the Odds. My name is Okello Sharon Nagenjwa, the gal from Wayam. And this month, remember that we're engaging young women who are doing amazing things, impacting their communities using their talents and knowledge. This week, we will be discussing mental health. Racheal is a dedicated advocate for mental health and well-being with a background in positive psychology and experience leading mental health projects at Rocket Health. Recognized as an Ashoka changemaker for her innovative and social initiatives, she focuses on promoting emotional well-being, resilience, and community support. Through her struggles with mental health, Racheal realized that the importance of creating safe spaces for open conversations and support, leading to developing programs to raise awareness and make support more accessible to youth facing familiar challenges. Oh, hi, Racheal.
Hi, Sharon.
I love young people doing amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And so this week I decided to just have more and more young people, actually this month, to just come and share with us the story so that you can inspire other young women who are there, that these some dreams are not unreachable for us. It's work, it's progress, and things are not just on the silver platter. So Racheal, let's just get to it. Who is Racheal? What do you do? And what are you doing?
All right. So Racheal, first of all, is a mental health advocate.
Yeah.
But besides being a mental health advocate, I'm also an innovator.
Okay.
Yeah. So I innovate in technology, but also in mental health specifically. And I have an initiative called Live More. I co-founded an initiative called Live More with a friend of mine. And when we started early on, we started it as Buzzcut Foundation in 2020, amidst the whole COVID-19 pandemic and we all know what was going on. People felt a lot of loneliness. People faced lots of challenges, especially when it comes to their psychological health within the COVID-19 pandemic. But my inspiration was far beyond that. It's not that I realized, it was already my own struggles that made me realize that, you know what, this is something that is actually very, very important, especially for young people, because with youth, we all know that youth, first of all, 85% of the youth are unemployed. We know that most of the people that are facing mental challenges, they are within the ages of 15 to 29. We know that they have the biggest challenges, but we also understand that we have grown up in a world where stigma is everywhere, because growing up I had very traditional parents, still do. I don't think they have changed, but I never felt safe enough to share my struggles with them or to share my struggles with anyone. So I've always especially growing up, I faced a lot of loneliness and getting into different schools and maneuvering them. It wasn't really easy for me to do that. And I remember when I just started secondary school, I was to be honest, I was not a good performer. I was not even close to being a good performer. And I was one of the stubbornest kids there was.
I see.
So people thought I was really troubled, but I just had all these struggles within that I had no way of letting out. So I used to use mediums like writing. I was a writer. I was someone who used to write
So you're
novels.
one of those people that used to journal a lot?
Not necessarily journal, though I do journal.
Okay.
But I used to write novels. It was sort of like my escape.
Okay.
It was where I felt safe. It was my safe space. I could express myself in a unique way and actually make it beautiful. So that was my escape, and that was one of the things that really got me through it. And so basically throughout the whole time.
So when you talk about got you through it, your challenges with mental health, could you just give us Take us there. Take us in there.
Yeah. Okay, so I mentioned the loneliness.
Yeah.
I really did not have friends, especially in primary. And I remember in primary, that was around the time when, because I didn't grow up with my mom. I didn't grow up, I grew up with my dad for a few years until he left the home. So I did not have parents within my, okay, not necessarily within my life. There was, my dad was very supportive, but I just did not have that emotional connection.
He was not
with them.
emotionally and physically available.
Yeah.
I would say he was financially available. That is the support you're talking about, right?
Yes.
And then your mother?
My mom, because they were separated, I would not see her much as well.
Okay, so more of like there was a detachment as far as your parents are concerned.
Yes.
So who raised you?
So I grew up with my siblings. Thank God to my siblings. They are very lovely people, and I love that I had that love around me. Because I remember we were in the same school for the first 3 years of primary, but then that is when we changed schools, everyone was put in a different school. That is when things started changing for me. And it was a very big change for me, considering I was used to my safe space.
You know, why I'm asking that is because we have a generation now of many single mothers and single fathers, and children are now being raised by different people, different individuals, and people are shy away from having the conversation of how much this affects the children growing up, and how much very many people are mentally disturbed just because they did not grow up with their parents, and there is no replacement for a mother or
really
father.
no
It doesn't matter whether somebody is the best stepmother, the best stepfather, or the best auntie or sister, brother. It doesn't matter. The truth is, there's always a feeling of, did they reject me? Did they not love me enough? And this is affecting a lot of young people. So is that something that that troubled you?
It is something that troubled me. And I did not really share it with anyone. You know, I always kept things to myself. Literally until I started the initiative, that is when I saw personally the importance of opening up. Because then I couldn't be a hypocrite. I couldn't be telling people, seek help when I'm not even opening up to people. So, but for the longest time, I was bottling up things. And you know, like when you keep bottling up, you're not really sharing with anyone. You're not really trying to handle things as they come. You are creating this kind of like, you are filling up the bucket, and you know, when it can't take it anymore, it sort of bursts. So I remember in my university, that is when I got into deep depression. But for me, I realized that it was more about a lot of things that I have been keeping, and that's really made me realize the importance of early intervention. You know, like we shouldn't wait until your cup is, you know, like the cup is overflowing for you to now realize that something is wrong, like until you're at the edge. And that is why it's very important for us to create awareness, for people to realize and seek help as early as possible. Okay,
so when you say seek help, where do people seek help from?
Okay, so I think obviously it has to start with the person themselves, and that comes back to recognizing that something is wrong. You know, not being in denial, because the more you're in denial, the more it's not that the thing disappears, the issue disappears, it still remains there. So I think first of all, recognizing that something is wrong, however small you think the issue might be. I don't think it doesn't even have to be, oh, I have anxiety, oh, I have depression. It doesn't have to be that extreme for you to realize that it's a big issue. So however small the issue is, I think just doing things like, first of all, we all know that a problem once shared is a problem half solved. So first of all, opening up to people around you. Because we are human beings. To be honest, we need support from each other.
That's true.
We really need support from each other, and we need to understand the importance of community. That the support system, me opening up to a friend who is going to check on me, I'll feel like I matter to someone, you know, or opening up to, and they can also like be there for me, hold my hand. Like we really do not have to do this entire journey alone. Like when you open up to someone, they are able to go through that journey with you.
You know, it's interesting that you're saying that, because I always sort of like, I believe that we're not on this world to be alone. There's nothing that you can do alone. Does not matter how much money you may have. The whole point is that it's hard being single in that mansion. It's hard being alone in a mansion. It's hard crying in a limousine. When you're supposed to say, I'd rather cry in a limousine. It's just, we're not here to be alone. That everything that we do is attached to somebody, is attached to helping somebody. Is what. So that's why in business, even in business, you cannot run a business without a customer. You cannot run a business without somebody who is supporting. So in other words, like our entire the whole point of humanity. That is why the whole we have a golden rule. The Bible says that love your neighbor as you love yourself, because that's the golden rule, and that is how we live each day. That everything you do must impact someone's life. So it's important that you're even moving forward to advocate for mental health, because that is the biggest challenge in the young people right now. And most times we never recognize that we are having mental challenges until it has gone to the extreme. That is when you get to start judging your friend. Oh, that person is bipolar. That person is having anxiety issues. But it is until it has gone to the extreme. So when we come back from this short break, we'll be delving into some of the things that you might see in your life that would pinpoint a particular mental challenge, but you probably do not know about it. That it could be an outburst. It could be just choosing not to talk to people at all. But at the end of the day, we have to identify and know within us, are we at the right state of mind? We'll be right back after this short break. So welcome back from that short break. As we told you earlier, we are having a month of speaking to young people who are impacting communities, who are innovative, who are earning a living with their talents and their knowledge. But today we are discussing mental health. How are others earning from mental health advocacy? Today, I have a very beautiful young woman here who is discussing mental health, how she's earning from mental health. And now that we're on that topic, sis, how do you identify a mental health challenge?
Yeah, I think, thank you so much for using the word mental health challenge and not necessarily mental illness, because both of they are sort of different things, you know. Mental health challenges can include, you know, probably like things that you haven't healed from that are currently affecting you right now. Maybe like some insecurities that you're struggling with. It could also be anger management issues. It could be lots of things basically. And then when it comes to the illnesses, that's why we hear the depression, the anxiety, and all the rest, you know, schizophrenia and the rest. So I think how we can recognize that someone is facing mental health challenges, especially if you're a friend, if someone starts detaching, you know, they start detaching, they start sort of like isolating, or they are being a bit of irritable, and they're irritated by things very fast, like out of the blue, they're irritated by things. And also it also happens to be, the thing is, each illness has its own symptoms and signs, but I think one of the common things is how the person's change in behavior. So we need to be able to pay attention to change in behavior, however non-significant you think it might be. I think it's very important to recognize it and find out if the person is doing okay.
Many people are afraid of talking. You know why? Because when you say you have a mental health challenge, someone can think you're running bizarre, you're running mad, and then of course they will judge you. And I've had people use it as an abuse when somebody is, say, has maybe had an outburst,
Yeah.
they're like, that person might be bipolar, that person might be this. So bipolar is an illness.
Yes.
It's not a mental health challenge, is it?
It is as well, because it's a mental health challenge, but it's an illness.
you
It's
had-
a diagnosed illness.
So you had said mental health illness, and then the
Yeah.
challenge.
No, mental health with the illnesses, they are diagnosed, you know, but with the challenges, they might not necessarily be diagnosed. Someone is not going to diagnose.
Can somebody have a
me of-
depressant? Okay, you're not a doctor.
Yes, I'm not.
Yeah. So let's it's
Yeah.
the wrong question, the wrong question for you. But because you are advocating for young women,
Yeah.
young youths, not just young women. I'm a women's advocate, so
Yeah. I understand
I tend
that.
to fall into when I'm talking generally. I tend to use the young women or women in general
That's
kind
okay.
of language. However, in your journey, now that you're doing the mental health advocacy, I want to know where the money is, because it's important. It's important that you are doing advocacy, but you're able to have food on that table, and not just do it. You know, and hopefully maybe one day manna will will rain from heaven to come and save your charitable spirit. Because the knowledge is
I get you. I completely understand
exactly.
you.
Yeah.
And before, we used to really struggle with funding, and we used to do charitable work because we did a lot of work, but we were funding it ourselves, especially as the founders and also the people on my team. We used to come together, put contributions together to be able to serve the community and be able to support them, especially when it comes to their mental health. But it's not sustainable, especially if you're not getting
that's true
consistent funding from a donor or something. It's really not sustainable, and we're able to do that for almost 4 years.
Wow.
Yes, because we had a big charitable spirit. But recently, last year, we decided to transition into a for-profit company, and whereas we still do some non-profit work, and whereas even up to now we are not I can't say we are making that much money or anything, because at the end of the day, whether we are a for-profit company, our main aim and our main goal is to create impact. That is what pushes us.
Okay, so as a for-profit company, what are people buying from you?
Okay, so first of all, we do workplace wellness.
Okay.
We have a workplace wellness program whereby we have workshops with employees to sort of like boost their productivity or handle some of the challenges that they are facing within the within the workplace. So aside from workplace wellness, we also do, you know, like students' mental health, because we can, like I told you, faced lots of challenges in school. So from my own experience, like, you know, and I told you how I was not performing really well because of the challenges that I had. And so these are some of the issues that happen within schools, because now schools, there is bullying. You find that there are these cliques, and this is the, I don't know, rich kids clique. This is, and you feel isolated. Those are some of the ways that we make money, but there are also like other things that we do that are not.
You know what I'm thinking right now is that with all these services, because not many people are doing that. And right now, by the way, it is a very, very fertile ground, right? There are lots of people who are damaged right now, and young people who are engaging in drugs, drug addiction, and sort of like young people are using ice, smoking weed, and using all kinds of drugs, and then it's of course messing with their mind. So if you have more and more young people advocating for mental health, advocating to end drug addiction, please let's all join together and protect our mental health, because the future is ours. And so if we go there while we are not sober, I fear for the future that we may have. So,
Yeah.
Kosa, thank you so much for sharing with us your story, and thank you for the good work that you are doing to impact
Thank you.
communities. You are amazing. You're among the amazing young people who are doing amazing things for people, and God will bless you for that. But
Thank
remember, of
you.
course, continue also engage in different, say, businesses, like small businesses, just to sustain what you're doing. Because much as you impact communities, it's not one that brings in the money.
Yeah.
So the trick I do is that I have different businesses that are money generating. That even when the NGO is not good, is not doing well, at least the money on the side can help
Yes.
sustain what you're purposefully and willingly doing as charity. Well,
Yeah.
that is it from us, the Triumph team. Don't forget to follow us on our socials at Girl from Oyam and at Triumph Women UG. And my name is Okello Sharon Nagenjwa, the girl from Oyam. Cheers.